actually wants to talk about. Instead of bad stuff all the time, wants to talk about some good stuff. That is, Bear checked it out the other night. Some good stuff there from Clint Stoker, and of course, Charlie. I always get this wrong. Is it Snoggans or Scoggins? I forget. I forget if it's Snoggans or Stoggins, but there you go. FATL or FATL, if you people prefer out there. I checked it out the other night. Let's start off with some good stuff out here. Let's start off with some good stuff. Fantastic art. He's got some fantastic art here. Great stuff. Interesting artwork that he has here. There we go. Some interesting, great stuff that he has. Lots of great action. He has a lot of great action. A lot of the panels kind of, for the most part, kind of flow together with each other. Some really interesting artwork that he's doing. Fatal is a I'm trying to remember the name of it. Finn's Alien Termination and Logistics. So basically, it's a space bug hunter, a space pest control out there. So that's what he's doing there at the very beginning. I probably saw some of this in the promotional material. So interesting artwork that he has coming out with here. Combined with Clint Stoker doing some good work. He's writing where Charlie is doing the artwork here. Charlie did a really good job. Unfortunately, the campaign started back in 2020. I want to say like September, October timeframe. Might have been a little earlier than that. It started around then. One progressively bad thing happened after the other. Clint lost his printer at the time. Charlie had overload of work that he had coming in, so he had to put Fatal off to the side there for a little bit. So in the book, you get probably about halfway, three-quarters of the way through, and you can tell kind of just a slight difference in the artwork. It's not bad or anything like that, but you can tell on some of these earlier pages here. Really intense with the artwork, and then it gets a little. Again, it's not bad, but a little less intense, a little bit more sort of on the mundane side of things. They're going around the city there. We'll get into the story in just a minute here, but they're going around the city there, so more city shots rather than some of the more big action scenes that he has. Let's see. Let me go back. Fatal, whatever you want to call it. Flynn's Alien. Let's see. Termination and Logistics. Kind of like a alien exterminator, comes down to a planet here. He's mysteriously hired by a group of people. Came down trying to battle aliens. Comes to find out that there's a little bit more going on. Some palace intrigue. And that's where you get the young girl and gosh, I forget her name. The blonde-haired lady there. She's like her protector. I didn't catch like the relationship, how they had that there, but. The young girl kind of she sees Flynn out there fighting the aliens, so she wants to, hey, let me go check this out. So she kind of sneaks away from the queen, her mother there, sneaks away, goes to find Flynn. They join up together, and they've got a bigger mystery to solve. Then they go back into the city, try and find out some stuff. Flynn needs... he's got some technical issues that he's got to work out with his like AI robot that he has kind of floating around there with him. So they go back into the city. They get some stuff fixed. They get a sort of a tip where to kind of check out, where to kind of go to figure out what's going on with the aliens coming down to the planet. It's very interesting. It's very kind of current day stuff where a majority of the people that are living on the planet are living in what's called the bubble. So they're very high society, kind of party sort of situation. Let me bring that up. Let me see. There we go. Kind of a big party situation. So they're in the bubble. They just don't want the aliens, whatever. They're invading the planet. Yeah, it's fine, but they're not invading the bubble, so it's fine. Well, the girl wants to go check it out and all that sort of stuff. Well, they come to find out why everybody, is not too concerned about any of this stuff. And hijinks hijinks ensue at the very end. So there you go. There you go. Good, good enough. Let's just put it that way. Good enough storytelling. Clint tells kind of a, there's a lot of intrigue that's going on there. Kind of, when you're doing some of that stuff, you kind of want to, especially in the first episode or the first book that you have here. Bear always says, simple plot, complex characters. So you don't want to get too crazy with your plot and 10 different spinning wheels out there. You keep it kind of simple. So what Bear's kind of complaint here, uh, they did what's called, and Bear had to look this up. Didn't know too much about it. They did it in what's called the Marvel method. So basically, Clint would come up with the artwork, or pardon me. Charlie would come up with the artwork there, and then Clint would have to come back after the artwork is in and kind of make a story out of that. So Charlie came up with kind of the first initial, I don't know, 5 or 10 pages or something like that. And then Clint went to work on the story from there. And it kind of felt a little that way. There was some issues that Bear had where initially it was very, best way to describe it is maybe Aliens meets, or Alien meets Blade Runner meets, those sorts of films out there, very kind of serious, gritty sci-fi. It went from that to being very Saturday morning cartoon, ha type funny stuff. So very weird sort of tonal shifts in there. There was, I don't know if I have it on this one or not, but there was one where the main character there, Flynn, he was very gruff in one panel, and then like 2 panels later or something like that, it was this sort of comic look, comic laugh to it. It just kind of threw Bear off there. Also, he did a really good job with the panels and the pacing at some points, but others they were cutting back and forth between Flynn. It seemed like he was falling out of the sky for like 20 pages. They would cut from Flynn battling the aliens and falling out of the sky to the sort of royal palace intrigue, and then back to Flynn. But it was like several pages of palace intrigue, so you lost that sort of pacing. Flynn's falling down from the sky, and then they cut, several pages later, and then they cut back, so it kind of lost a lot of its momentum that he had going on there. Minor stuff like that kind of threw Bear out of it there, but man, oh man, some excellent, excellent artwork. He did a really good job. There was one part right around these pages here. Actually, I've got it right here, don't I? Where it is. He kind of breaks character and does this sort of video. He just killed a bunch of aliens, and then kind of does this TV sort of shot, but it never really explained how that worked out. All you saw in the very beginning was just Flynn, talking about money with. I wasn't sure if it was an AI or if it was like one of his handlers or something like that. He was talking to somebody out there about money. Basically, they're being paid in credits rather than actual cash. He's kind of ticked off about that. Anyways, doing some battles, and then all of a sudden he goes and cuts to kind of a goofy sort of commercial. It was a little bit off. It was a little bit odd there, but I tell you, other than that, some great stuff. We had this panel, or excuse me, the print. That came out if you check out the box open there. This was actually just one panel, a part of a page. So if you can kind of abstract from that, a lot of the great stuff that Charlie was doing might just come up as a panel, so you just see that or something like that. Does great, amazing work, but sometimes it just didn't fit and coalesce together. Some of the action was a little bit confusing. Like Bear said, Flynn felt like he was falling for 30 pages. He would fall on something, and then it would turn out to be like a floating platform or something, and stuff like that. It needed to be a little bit more fleshed out. like maybe a wider shot to show where everything was, and then you can kind of narrow it down. It seemed like he kept falling onto different things, and then it would explode, so he'd have to jump off to something else, and then there would be a building. It was a little confusing out there. So that's kind of what Bear would have to say. A very good book. Would like to see what happens. It leaves on a cliffhanger, unfortunately. Hopefully, it doesn't take another 3 years here. Um, Leaves on a cliffhanger. Good book. Probably a couple of things that Bear would say it might need to change with the story there, but for what they had to do, I think it was pretty good. Bear would suggest just to Clint, you come up with the story first and then do the artwork. It's fine to do a couple of concept arts, but having to draw that out and then come back to figure out, okay, how do we do this? How do we fit the story into what is being drawn? Um, Probably worked for Marvel when they were just cranking them out one after another, but for a comic book that lasted 3 years, development here, yeah, just come up with a little bit more of a more cohesive story. I think they would have knocked it out of the park. But yeah, just little tweaks here or there, he would have had a great book. But for a first attempt from Charlie out here, great job. I don't know if this is Clint's highest grossing campaign, but he did. By the way, he did pretty good. By the way, it is still up. It is still up, and it is being shadow banned by our good friends out here at Indiegogo. So go check it out. There you are. You can check it out there. Take you right to it. Of course, you can't search for it. Thanks, Indiegogo. So you can go check it out there. It is still being fulfilled. You can see that there where he's still doing it to Australia. But yeah, go ahead and check it out. You can check out Bear's box open there. See what it's all about. He's still got most of the stuff up there. I'm trying to remember if the artist edition is still up. It may not be, but everything else looked pretty good. Came in, once they finally finished it, came in, good packaging and all that. So pretty good. Good job, Clint. Good job, Charlie. A great first attempt out here. Doing some great work. Just maybe needs to speed it up just a little bit. And also just work a little bit on the story. Just work a little bit on the story there. And I think you've got a great book. Humans, thank you for watching this video. If you wish to have more, please like and subscribe. And don't forget that bell for notification. It would please Bear very much. You don't want to see Bear bad, do you? Grrrr.